The first rates are on your screen. We're at 22,080. So very, very close to previous highs. Basically what, another 50 points and you were at previous highs on the Nifty. So 22,065 on the index is what you have. The Nifty Bank is starting 65 points higher. We've got about 70 points on it coming through as well. That's about 0.15 odd percent. Mid-cap index is starting 0.5% higher. Just to bookmark at least the opening values, so as to speak. But Sonia has walked across with more rates. Sonia, over to you.
Well, thanks a lot for that. So as you rightly pointed out, it's a good opening, right? We're holding on to 22,000, and I think it's the Nifty Bank that's doing all the good work this morning, about 100 points higher. But let's take it straight to individual stocks. HDFC Bank is really the stock of the moment because not only is there an analyst day today, but the company will be seeing inflows of $400 million in the FTSE Reject. So I'm keeping an eye out on that, up 0.3% higher. On Friday, we saw a lot of these auto stocks hit fresh record highs. So let's see what's happening this morning. M&M coming in for a slight bit of profit taking. A couple of the other names like Bajaj Auto, TVS Motor have been hitting fresh highs. Look at that, some follow-on buying on Bajaj Auto. In fact, there was a lot of delivery-based buying as well that we saw on Friday in some of these auto stocks. So just keep them on your radar. Apart from that, Novartis and Dr. Reddy's, right? So let's get Dr. Reddy's and the BSE-listed Novartis India on board. Dr. Reddy's is likely to acquire Novartis's stake in Novartis India. So DRL and Novartis both up in the green at the moment, 10.5% higher on Novartis India, clearly the stock of the moment. Paytm is the other one. It will be partnering with Axis Bank for settlement of the merchant payment bank. So Paytm up almost about 5% odd. Sula Vineyard has been in focus as well, down 5.5% on that one. 14% equity, in fact, has changed hands on Sula Vineyard, so keep an eye out there. Balrampur Chini will be investing 2,000 crores in a new business, so that stock is up 3.5%. Tata Power has got the LOI from REC Power Development to acquire the Jalpura Khurja Power Transmission Plant for 838 crores, so 1.5% higher there. Good results coming in from the likes of Crystal, so that stock is up almost about 3.5%. Titagarh Rail got an order worth 170 crores for supply of some wagons to the that fresh order that has come through. 7% higher on Titagarh Rail. Manappuram Finance in focus. The IPO of Asirvad Microfinance is in focus as well, so up almost 0.7%. And I just want to look at two more stocks. One is MCX. UBS has raised their target price to 4,300 on MCX, which is a big upside to the current market price. So I'm looking at that. And the other one is Quest Corp. We spoke about that. It's demerged into 3 different entities. So 13% higher, clearly one of the big movers in the broader market. So strong opening for the market, holding on to the 22,000 mark, but clearly it's about individual stocks today. Back to you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for that, Sonia. Sula is the one that's under big pressure post that large trade that's taken place. So that's on the bottom of your screen. Keep an eye on PB Fintech as well. Citi had a buy rating out there with the target price of 1,150. They got the regulators now to upgrade the license of Policy Bazaar. So that's the reason why, in fact, that stock is up close to around 4.5%. Pull up Eureka Forbes as well. Kotak Institutional, well, they had a buy rating with the target price of around 680 rupees. So let's see whether or not that stock is reacting as well. Keep an eye out on that one. Data Patterns had a big run in Friday's trading session. Nimesh had alerted us there'll be some large names that will come in there. And he was spot on. So, you have Data Patterns is running another 6% after the big move that we saw on Friday's trading session. A few more notable movers today. MRPL, that's up close to around 12%. Massive move is what we're seeing out there. Skipper, we had the management who joined us on the show. They are saying that they're going to guide for around 25% growth. But just putting it in the numbers in, it appears for this year they're going to do close to 50% growth because they're talking about close to around 2,900 to 3,000 crores. So that one's up and about in today's trading session. Gujarat Pipavav is up close to around 5.5%. It had some valuation comfort. It's already seen a big run, mind you. But that one continues to run along. And LIC, they're getting a refund from the tax authorities. So the street likes that. LIC up close to around 3%. So fairly good looking screen today. We don't have any shocker coming in from the US markets later today. So that's another factor at play. But a nice green start, guys.
No, absolutely. And 40 points in the Nifty is what you have. So 22,080 odd is where we find ourselves. I think we mentioned kind of a bulk of what is moving and how things are starting. Minda Corp is just one thing. There was that block which happened, right? The stock's up 7% right now. So that's a large mover, 400,000 shares on Minda Corp, just to kind of highlight that one as well. Then maybe we could look at Wockhardt, which is up about 6%. Stocks at about 515 coming through right now. Titagarh, we did mention. Quest and Natco. Natco is another one. Natco saw a very large move. Ekta just highlighted, there was a brokerage call, 7% on top of the 10% move on Natco from Friday. Stocks at 1100. By the way, Natco is the third largest volume traded name coming through this morning. RVNL is coming up with a 5% pop. Nigel did highlight MRPL with an 11% gain now with tremendous volumes through. Then you got to go down the list to find more names, but volumes are lacking. Sudarshan Chemicals and Rupa, these are all 5% movers. Star Health is coming up with a 4% pop. Idea Forge is up about 5%. But we'll sort of give it some more time to kind of see if volumes are really going to pick up on some of these names. GIC-RE saw a 10% move on Friday. It's seeing a 2% downtick. Dish TV was up 10% on Friday. That's down about 1.5% right now. Wipro was up 5% on Friday. It was a top Nifty gainer. It's down about 1.33% on in terms of trade right now. So that's on the downside. HPL Electric, I think, saw a large 10% move on Friday. That's down about 1.25%. So these are, minor kind of pullbacks coming through after we've had what other moves that we've had.